I understand that horrible time when you get a concealer and it's like, it looks amazing. Everyone's talking about it. You know, it's really hyped up and then you use it and it doesn't even cover your under eye circles. Like, what's the point of it then? I'm back with another educational beauty video, and today's video is really interesting, and I feel like most people, the majority of people, will want to know about this. Now, this is a list of the top concealers for under eye dark circles. This is something that I know a lot of people struggle with, and I've had so many of you say to me, I bought this concealer, it just doesn't tend to like cover my dark circles, like what's going on? So I wanted to round up the concealers that I've used. They're tried and tested and they work. So I want you guys to stay tuned, but don't forget, I do have another channel, so please do go head over there if you like vlogs, and make sure you subscribe to that and show your support there too. Now, if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. And I'm over on Instagram, so please come say hi there too. Now we can get started with the video. You guys ready to learn about the best concealers for under eye dark circles? We're going to get started, but before we do, I just want to say, I did make this announcement and I'm just like going to keep mentioning it in all my videos because I'm so excited about it and I'm so excited for you guys to support this. I love my beauty channel and I'm never ever going to get rid of this because I absolutely love this channel and I love you guys and I love how educational it is. But I do have another channel that I've started, guys, and I'm really excited about it. It's completely different. It's a vlog channel and it's all about my life. It's all about what I get up to when I'm not filming for YouTube. It's behind the scenes, so you get to come to events with me. You get to see what work is like business, like learning a bit more about that. And I really am excited for you guys to join me over there. So please do head over there, hit the subscribe button and show me your support and just be there because I really want, you guys are so amazing on this channel. You're my YouTube family and I would really love if you could join me over there too. And it's just a bit more, lighthearted and it's a bit more about just getting to know me as a person, and I really want it to be uplifting, inspirational and motivational for you guys as well. Now, don't get me wrong, not every day is perfect. I do have those days where I'm like really not feeling it today, but I'm very open about that on my other channel, and there are other videos on there, so the videos are already uploaded so you can go check it out. So make sure you get comfy, sit down, watch it, let me know what you think. Anyway, let's get started with this. We're going to go through the best concealers that I feel that are tried and tested, that I feel work best for under eye dark circles. Now we're going to get started with the first one. The first one is obviously my Tarte Shape Tape. Now I'm not going to say this is in any order. This is in no particular order, so it's not like this is the best and we're going down to the worst or the other way around. It's just a mix of concealers that I have used that I actually find work really well. Now trust me, because I have dark circles, so I understand that horrible time when you get a concealer and it's like, it looks amazing. Everyone's talking about it. It's really hyped up and then you use it and it doesn't even cover your under eye circles. Like, what's the point of it then? Because it needs to cover what I have, the problem that I have, which is under eye circles. So I totally get you guys out there. I am on the same page as you and I understand. We don't all have amazing skin, so I get it. This one is something that I swear by. I really do love this concealer. These are all concealers that I kind of alternate with and you've probably seen me use in various videos, and I feel like they genuinely do the job with under eye circles. It's just amazing. Tarte Shape Tape, what can I say about this? It literally covers dark circles. It has a great shade range. I was really worried when the concealer first came out because I thought, oh my god, everyone is going crazy about this concealer. What is so good about it? And then I tried it and I was like, wow, but the shade wasn't right. And I was like, oh my god, don't tell me that this is going to be the most amazing concealer ever, but it just doesn't, they just don't do the right shade for me. And I remember having that horrible worry of that, and then I eventually found it, and not gonna lie, it isn't always the great shade for me, the greatest shade for me, because at the moment it's great because this is my skin when it's not tanned, but when I'm tanned, I'm like, this is too light for me. So I kind of have to mix it with another concealer after. But I really wanted to share that with you because genuinely, I feel like this does cover dark circles. If anyone tells you this doesn't cover dark circles, they're not using it right. Genuinely, this does. I feel like I've said the word genuinely so much lately. But this concealer works really, really well. Now, I apply it underneath my foundation. I apply all concealers underneath my foundation because I use the underpainting technique, and I've been using it since day one. I absolutely love this technique. Can I just quickly say, I don't know who it was invented by, so I'm not going to claim that anyone invented it, but I just want to say that this technique is something that has been used for decades. It's not something that has just come out. This is a technique which has been used for years. I don't know who it dates back to, but honestly, it has been going for years. It's a technique that everyone uses, and a lot of people use. And I just want to let you know that it is, it's my way of using concealers, and it doesn't mean that that's the only way that these concealers are going to work. They do work perfectly well if you're not going to be underpainting, if you're applying it on top of your foundation. Now, this concealer I love because it's creamy, it's not too fluid, it's just the right texture, and it's actually really great for applying it and then leaving it a little while and then blending it in. It kind of gives you that extra flawlessness, to the whole look. It's a great concealer, shade range is great, blends in perfectly, and genuinely does cover dark circles. Now, I do feel like the Tarte concealer can be a little bit heavy for some people, so if you don't like that if you don't want as much like that nothing came out right then. If you don't want it to be so I wouldn't say this always gives you a cakey finish, but on some skin types it can end up looking cakey. And if you kind of struggle with finding a concealer that covers everything up and then ends up but still it looks cakey, then I think this may not be the one for you. But if your face can take a lot of makeup, like I can take a lot of makeup and it looks hopefully it looks fine on me, then this works really, really well for me. It doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone, but what I really wanted to share was that it does cover up dark circles, and that's the reason I wanted to mention that one. So my next one it's the Vanish Airbrush Concealer. Shade range is really, really good for this. I do really love that it's super creamy, because I feel like when you apply the Tarte Shape Tape, it's great, you can leave it there for 30 seconds and it will blend so nicely, if you really want that full coverage under eye look. With this one, you can leave it and it doesn't necessarily dry up as quick, so it is a bit more easy to it's easier to manipulate, and you can leave it there for 30 seconds and it won't fully dry up or anything. You can really blend it so well. It's very, very blendable. It's very good when it comes to blending, but the coverage is still there, and that's what I love about it, because sometimes you get concealers where the coverage is great and initially it looks great and it's really easy to blend, it's so creamy, and then you start blending and it just disappears. This isn't the case with this. This genuinely is a really good concealer, and I feel like I love it for its coverage. My only pet hate is that it gets really messy around the this bit, which is annoying because it it just becomes messy, and I don't want it to be messy. So it's a really good concealer. It covers your dark circles really, really well, so that is my next one that I'm gonna recommend. It does give a kind of full coverage effect, it genuinely covers everything. Now, next up, we're gonna move on to the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. Now, this foundation is concealer, not foundation. This concealer is great if you want to cover up those dark circles, but you don't want it to look really cakey, and maybe you still want that slight glow to your skin. If you don't want it to look fully matte, then this is the one for you. So this foundation, why do I keep calling it foundation? This concealer, it's because I did a few foundation videos recently, and it's in my head it's just foundation. But this concealer genuinely does cover your dark circles. I didn't think it was going to when I first got my hands on this concealer, because I thought, okay, Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. The minute I hear radiant, I just assume it's not going to cover anything, which is a bad habit. I've learned from my mistake, because you can't judge a book by its cover. It genuinely does work. It covers up your dark circles. It actually brightens them, which is what I love. It's a very brightening concealer, and that's why I like this concealer, because it isn't heavy. It's great for everyday wear. If you want that kind of brightness, you want it to look like you want it to look flawless as well, but you don't want it to look so dry and tight under your eyes. This is amazing, because you still get that kind of really nice kind of glow coming through, that healthy look. It doesn't look like it's just dry and cakey, it doesn't look like that. It looks really, really good. So I think this is a really good concealer if you're looking for something which is going to give you that healthy look and not look cakey on your under eyes, especially especially if you have a lot of lines around your eyes, this is great because dryness is going to make it look even more like matte. Makeup can sometimes make it look even more kind of like enhance the lines depending on how you've set it. But this concealer is really, really good if you do have a lot of lines around your eyes. And I've used this on mature skin as well, and it works great. So yeah, that's my next one. Next up is my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Now, this concealer I have been using for years. It is a really, really good concealer. And I feel like when I've stopped using it because I'm using other new ones, and then I go back to this, I'm like, wow, I like forgot how good this was. So I think it's just because it's such an iconic concealer and it's been around for so long, you kind of end up like just assuming it's not as good. Well, maybe that's just me, but genuinely it is good. Like, I used this last week after not using it for so long, and you know, as I said, I've got dark circles, so I used it because I thought I just need something quick and I couldn't find like my concealer, and I was like, let me just use this, and I was like, wow, like I forgot how good this is. So it's something that I feel like does the job. You know, it ticks every box. I wish more product would actually come out with this, because every time I take it out, I feel like, okay, it's a little bit, but I need a bit more, you know? And maybe that is the right amount that you should be using. But I really feel that that differs from person to person depending on how much they need. But this is a really good concealer. It isn't too radiant where, you know, it's like too glowy and it doesn't kind of... You can still make it matte, but it's not like too glowy, like I said. So this is like a nice, it's a thick concealer, but it isn't like thick like that it looks cakey. It covers everything up on the under eye area. It's great if you do have kind of dry skin as well. Like, I feel like the Tarte Shape Tape and the Hourglass may not be that great on dry skin or mature skin because it is quite a heavy duty concealer. I would say the one to stay away from if you have dry skin or a lot of lines around the eyes, then I'd say the one to stay away from is Tarte Shape Tape because it can dry out. But the Hourglass is probably a little bit easy to kind of like move around. It's a bit more fluid. But this is great for any age group, I feel. I feel like it is perfect for any skin type. So this is an all-rounder that covers up dark circles and is buildable as well, so you can kind of keep adding more if you want that extra coverage. Next up is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Now, this is a concealer that they say you can conceal, contour, highlight and retouch with. Honestly, that doesn't really mean anything to me because I feel like you just use it what you want to use it for. It's a concealer at the end of the day. Now, this concealer is great at covering under eye circles. I feel like it's a good, like, it's a cheaper alternative. It's not as expensive, obviously, as the other brands that I've mentioned. And I feel like this gives really good coverage. I do like the fact that it is quite fluid. It doesn't come out too thick. I feel like it's easy to blend. Again, I have an issue with the lid because I feel like it does kind of get really messy around there, which is really annoying. It's great coverage. It is very good coverage. I would say this is almost a cross between Tarte Shape Tape and the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. But I would recommend this because I feel like it works for most skin types. Like, you don't have that worry of it looking cakey. It doesn't dry up too quickly. It is buildable as well. I do feel like, you know, depending on your skin, it can I've just noticed that you need to leave it on your hand before you buy it and just see what color it turns into before you buy it. Because if you buy it just based on when it's wet, then I feel like you may be disappointed because I do feel like the color changes a little bit. But ultimately, all of these concealers are concealers that actually cover the under eye dark circles. They are amazing at it. Out of everything that I've used, I feel like these are the best concealers for covering under eye dark circles. And plus, I feel like I've explained to you which ones suit what type of skin type better. My personal favorites that I use probably the most on myself are the Tarte Shape Tape, Hourglass and the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. So the others I do use, but probably not as much as these ones. So I just wanted to make that clear because I wanted to be completely honest with you. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's answered some questions, and hopefully now you know which ones you can go out and pick from for a concealer that covers dark circles on the under eye area. And if you do have any questions, please do let me know in the comments box below. And wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you loads of good vibes, and I hope you have the best day, and it's full of love and full of laughter. I really do hope you've enjoyed this video today, and I hope that you've managed to find a concealer somewhere in there that you think is going to work for you. Now, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.